gonna keep winning. Keep fighting, keep winning. Sooner or later, they're gonna say, hey, GDG, you need to fight him or get your ass up out of boxing. Move your ass out of 168. I heard Jacobs was talking that shit. I'm in the Barclay. The Barclay love me. Let's make it happen. The fuck? We real, we about that shit. I've been training all my life. I ain't scared of no human being.
That fight should be easy to make.
No,
is it too?
If he fought Louis Arias, he can definitely fight me.
Yeah. What's stopping that? Is it the fighter or is it the promoter?
He going overseas. He make other shit happen. I'm with it. I'm a real lion. I'll show you. I'm about that life. What's up?
Yes, it's getting hot in the middleweights. What's happening, fight fans? It is your boy Nice, and this is the Fight Room. Good interview. Shout out to Boxcaster. He had an interview with the Charlo brothers, and they was talking a lot. Definitely was talking a lot. Let's get with Charlo talking about Triple G at first. You know, he's talking about that they need to stand up and face the man, pretty much. And then he goes on to say that Jacob was talking and he can get it too. And this is the fight of the future. And this is gonna be a good fight if it comes to pass in the future. Daniel Jacobs versus Jermall Charlo. Great style matchup. This is definitely a future fight. I see that this is definitely gonna come into fruition in the future, for sure. I think Danny Jacobs has been underrated a lot, you know. I think he's definitely number 2 in the middleweight division, and I'm leaning towards Canelo, because Canelo was an all-around fighter to me, man. He has the credentials to use the ring and use his smarts, and as you know and we know, we've seen the press conference with Triple G versus Canelo recently, and the debate of Abel Sanchez coming at Canelo and stating that he doesn't, you know, pretty much runs. He's saying that Canelo's technique is running, and Canelo and vice versa came back at him and said that he doesn't know boxing, speaking on Abel, because if he doesn't know what using technique is and running, if he doesn't know the two difference, then he doesn't know boxing. But back to this, Danny Jacobs to me number 2, and Charlo is on his way up for sure as a pound for pound fighter, not a contender, and I believe this is his year to make that statement. And it would be an interesting fight maybe at the end of the year that this fight could take place, because I'm not too sure if Triple G is going to take a fight with Jermall Charlo. We've heard again with Abel how he comes at Charlo and stating that the way he carries himself, he might not get the opportunity. But he did say in an interview with Dante's Boxing Nation, shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation, saying that he is on the list to fight Triple G in the near future, but he has to wait his turn. So if he does have to wait, maybe this fight with Danny Jacobs can take place. Good, interesting matchup. I think the styles with both fighters is made for each other to fight. Danny Jacobs is gotten sharper. I think he won the fight against Triple G. I had him winning that fight, and he's sharp, and he's gotten better, man. Even after the Triple G fight, when you see him fight against Louis Arias, his sharpness, the way he was moving in the ring and using his hands, and the way he was just fighting in that fight, seems to me that he got just a little bit sharper right after the Triple G fight. So it would be an interesting fight. Danny Jacobs is a power puncher, knows how to box, knows how to use the ring, and so does Jermall Charlo. And it's gonna be a great matchup if this fight comes to fruition, which I hope it does, and I think it will. Now, Jacobs got a matchup against Suleski, which is a fighter undefeated from Poland, and he has a good win over Hugo Centeno Jr., the fighter that is supposed to fight Jermall Charlo, but it was postponed for April 21st, if I'm correct. And the guy is undefeated, and he's going to fight Danny Jacobs, and I think that Danny Jacobs should pull it off, though the guy likes to come forward. Pretty good boxer, and won decisively and stopped Hugo Centeno Jr. Now that fight with Jacobs and Suleski will take place April 28th on PBC, Premier Boxing Champions. I think is on Showtime, but I'm not quite sure. Now this fight, future fight for Jermall Charlo and Danny Jacobs, absolutely fantastic fight. Both styles is great, and both got a lot to prove. You know, Jermall, they ducking him. A lot of people are ducking him, but I know that Danny Jacobs is not one ducking him. He called him out one time and said that he can get it for sure. Now between both fighters, who hits harder? Danny Jacobs, 33 wins with 29 by knockout. And we have Jermall Charlo, 26 wins and 20 by knockout. I think maybe Danny Jacobs might have the slight edge on the power. I said previously in one of my old videos that Jermall might have the edge, but come to think of it, and watching a lot of Jermall's fights and watching Danny's fights, I've seen, you know, like the power is more leaning towards Danny Jacobs. So I think he has more of the power. The ability to use the ring, most likely is going to be Danny Jacobs as well. I'm not taking nothing away from Jermall Charlo. Great boxer, works the ring incredible as well. He's getting better as he goes, but I think Danny Jacobs is already a little sharper than he is. But doesn't mean anything, man, because boxing could go anywhere. You know, anything can happen. And the styles with these guys is sure enough to play that type of scene. Don't know what's going to happen in that type of fight. It will please the fans, to me. I think it's a pleasing fan fight, and I am willing to bet all odds, man, that this could be a potential fight of the year if it takes place, which I hope it does. Charlo, incredible puncher, great box all around, man, and I got to give credit to him, man. He has proven me wrong 2 or 3 times, and even his brother, Jermall, even his brother Jermall has exceedingly improved and shocked me a few times in some of his fights. They're both incredible fighters. They're doing their thing in the boxing game, and even though with their attitude towards the game, we need that, man, because, hey, it's boxing. Let them talk the trash they want to talk, and let somebody put up or shut up, like they say. Just go up there, and if you say you're the best fighter and I'm the best fighter, let's make it happen. Whatever it takes to make a boxing fight happen, let's just make it happen. Let's give the fans what they want, man, and it's a pleasing fight. And I think this is one of those type caliber fights which is going to be pleasing to the fans, and I hope it gets done this year, man, honestly. What do you guys think, man? Is this a well-pleasing fan fight? Is it a good fight to make? Who do you think would win in this type of fight? Jacobs or Charlo, and why? Like, comment, hit, subscribe, much appreciated. You know it is your boy O Nice from the Fight Room. Peace.